Hello and welcome to Express News with me, Deepika, your daily half-an-hour window that brings you all the latest news and updates from different parts of the world in just 30 minutes. Let's begin. Prime Minister Narendra Modi inaugurated multiple development projects worth over $2 billion in western state of Rajasthan on Friday. Prime Minister Narendra Modi inaugurated various national highway projects worth over $602 million and 8 railway projects of Rajasthan worth over $277 million. Prime Minister Narendra Modi also laid the foundation stone of solar projects worth around $638 million and other multiple projects worth $289 million under Jal Jeevan Mission. While addressing the event, Prime Minister said these development projects are going to provide employment to the youth of Rajasthan. India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi visited Rewari in the Indian state of Haryana. He visited an exhibition at the venue as well. During the event, Prime Minister Narendra Modi inaugurated multiple development projects worth over $1.1 billion in various sectors. Prime Minister Narendra Modi also laid the foundation stone of Gurugram Metro Rail project worth about $656 million. He also laid the foundation stone of All India Institute of Medical Sciences in Haryana under Pradhan Mantri Swasthya Suraksha Yojana. During the event, he also inaugurated a newly built experiential museum in Kurukshetra, built at a cost of around $30 million. Prime Minister Narendra Modi also flagged off train service in the Rohtak-Meham-Hansi section, which will improve rail connectivity in Rohtak and Hisar region, benefiting the rail passengers. During his address in Rewari, Prime Minister Narendra Modi said that his government fulfilled the dream of long-awaited Ram Temple in Ayodhya for the people of India. Indian Vice President Jagdeep Dhankar presided over the Bharat Startup and MSME Summit organized by PHDCCI at Dr. Ambedkar International Centre in New Delhi today. During the event, he said that startups and medium, small and micro enterprises contribute to 30% of India's GDP and 45% of its manufacturing output. India's Speaker of the Lower House of the Parliament, Om Birla, inaugurated the Meva India 2024, a dry fruit exhibition in the national capital, New Delhi, on Friday. The two-day dry fruit exhibition in Delhi is a landmark event organized by the Nuts and Dry Fruit Council of India, with over 200 exhibitors from across the world participating in the event. The Delhi police have registered a case of culpable homicide against the owner of a paint factory in Delhi's Alipur area. 11 people were killed and 4 injured in a fire incident at the paint factory on Thursday. The 77th Delhi Police Raising Day was observed in New Delhi. Indian Minister Nityanand Rai attended the ceremony, in which he took the salute during the parade demonstration by the Delhi police personnel. More than 50 countries are going to participate in the 12th edition of Milan exercise, which will be held at India's Visakhapatnam from the 19th till the 27th of February. The launch of the GSLV F-14 INSAT 3DS mission is set for Saturday, February the 17th at 17:35 Indian Standard Time from Sriharikota. The GSLV mission aims at deploying the INSAT 3DS meteorological satellite into the geosynchronous transfer orbit. India's Defence Acquisition Council greenlights critical capital acquisitions worth 84,560 crore rupees, prioritizing self-reliance in defence production. Key approvals include cutting-edge anti-tank mines and advanced loiter munition systems. The Indian markets ended in green on Friday. Sensex climbed 376.26 points to settle at 72,426.64 points. Nifty was up 129.9 points to 22,040.7 points. Rupee rose 4 paise to settle at 83.01 against the US dollar on Friday. Gold futures maturing on the 5th of April stood at 61,713 rupees per 10 grams on MCX. Silver futures maturing on the 5th of March stood at 71,306 rupees per kilogram on the MCX. In spite of strong global headwinds and trade disruptions via the Red Sea, India's merchandise trade deficit narrowed to $17.49 billion in January as exports edged up by 3.1%. Central Banks of India and Nepal on Thursday signed terms of reference for the integration of the Unified Payments Interface and National Payments Interface. The integration is aimed at facilitating cross-border remittances between India and Nepal by enabling users of the two systems to make instant and low-cost fund transfers. Japan's Nikkei closed at another 34-year peak on Friday, helped higher by a buoyant Wall Street, while the dollar found its footing after a big fall in the U.S. retail sales revived chances of a June rate cut. The yen eased 0.2% on Friday to 150.26 per dollar. Figures on Thursday showed that Japan and Britain slipped into recession at the end of the last year. A cold snap is forecast to sweep across many parts of China from the coming weekend, with temperatures falling by up to 20 degrees Celsius as millions return from Lunar New Year trips. The cold spell is expected to affect road, rail and air transport. Snow and sandstorms are expected to hit parts of the region over the next few days. The Weather Bureau has also warned of potential avalanches in the mountainous Altai area. Torrential rain swelled the Congo rivers to its highest level in over 60 years in late December and forced around 500,000 people to flee the rising waters. According to Congolese authorities, 16 of Congo's 26 provinces are struggling with floods that killed at least 221 people, damaged thousands of homes as well. As per Philippines officials, the death toll from a landslide in the southern area has risen to 92 as the search for missing people continues. Provincial officials said 36 people were still unaccounted after the landslide struck the town of Mako in the Davao de Oro province on the 6th of February. The Ice Snow World in Harbin will be closed from Thursday due to rising temperatures and windy weather. Gaps have appeared between the ice bricks due to strong winds and rising temperatures. India's External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar is in Munich Security Conference 2024, where he met British Foreign Secretary David Cameron and also held a detailed discussion on bilateral cooperation. As part of his 4-day official visit to the United States, India's Chief of the Army Staff, General Manoj Pandey, visited the headquarters of one corps of the U.S. Army. In a boost to US, India, Australia, Japan Quad alliance, the US House of Representatives has passed the Quad bill that instructs the Biden administration to establish a Quad intra-parliamentary working group to facilitate closer cooperation between the United States, Australia, India and Japan. White House National Security Communications Advisor John Kirby said that the recent spate of attacks on Indian students in the US is unacceptable. In the United Kingdom, opposition Labour secured victory in 2 key by-elections, prompting British Prime Minister Rishi Sunak to acknowledge that the twin defeats for the Conservative Party indicate the need for more efforts ahead of the elections. The first ever criminal trial against US's any former president is all set to begin on the 25th of March as judge in New York tonight Donald Trump's motion to dismiss the charges in the hush money case. U.S. presidential candidate Nikki Haley campaigned in Texas to win over deeply red state voters. Her next challenge is the South Carolina primary against Donald Trump. U.S. President Joe Biden spoke with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu on Thursday about the situation in the city of Rafah and discussed ongoing hostage negotiations. The call between the two leaders was the second time in less than a week that Biden warned Netanyahu about moving into southern part of the Gaza Strip without a plan to ensure the safety of around 1 million people sheltering there. IDF spokesperson Daniel Hagari said that IDF special forces have been conducting a precise and limited operation inside a hospital in Khan Yunis. Several terror suspects were arrested during the raid. A day after U.S. carried out 4 strikes on Houthi-held areas of Yemen, rebels fired missiles at a British ship off the country's coast on Thursday. Speaking after a meeting of alliance ministers in Ukraine on Thursday, NATO Secretary General Jens Stoltenberg said the centre will allow Ukrainian troops to share the lessons learned from the conflict. Russian opposition leader Alexei Navalny was confirmed dead on Friday after feeling unwell at the Federal Penitentiary Service where he was serving his sentence. Despite medical assistance, Navalny could not be resuscitated. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky landed in Germany in a first leg of Berlin-Paris visit. The trip aims at drumming up military assistance and signing bilateral security commitments. The trip comes as Kyiv's troops try to hold back Russian forces closing in the eastern town of Avdiivka despite shortage of manpower and ammunition. 7 people, including a 1-year-old girl, were killed in a Ukrainian missile attack on the Russian city of Belgorod. 18 other people were injured. Russia said its forces hit Ukrainian military-industrial complex that produce and repair aircraft engines by using high-precision, long-range weapons to attack the building. Ukraine said it was withdrawing troops from some parts of the eastern town of Avdiivka to better position after months of heavy fighting on Thursday. The White House spokesperson John Kirby said on Thursday that the Ukrainian city of Avdiivka is at risk of falling to Russian forces, citing Ukrainian troops' lack of artillery ammunition. American Vice President Kamala Harris is in Europe to talk defense with a number of global leaders as Washington continues to debate a major military spending package for both Ukraine and Israel. Greece's parliament has approved a bill allowing same-sex civil marriage. The bill is being hailed as landmark victory for supporters in the LGBT rights. The law gives same-sex couples the right to wed and adopt children. This comes after decades of campaigning by the LGBT community for marriage equality in the socially conservative country. Farmers across Europe are protesting against constraints placed on them by European Union measures to tackle climate change, as well as rising costs and what they say is unfair competition from abroad. Thousands of farmers from all over Italy and some government officials marched in Rome to demonstrate against the European Union's new environmental policies. An insulator under a rail car caught fire and smoke was seen spreading from inside a metro station in Washington, D.C. on Thursday. 9 patients were injured. Australian authorities closed off the areas in several parks in Sydney on Friday after discovery of asbestos in mulch, as the inhalation of asbestos fibers could cause lung inflammation and cancer. Hong Kong authorities arrested 7 people suspected of being involved in a $1.8 billion money laundering case on Friday. Authorities seized $21.1 million worth of assets, including 5 properties and 3 commercial units. U.S. workers are constructing a taller border fence along the U.S.-Mexico border that has metal sheets on top of the border fence that point to the Mexican side. The staff of the United Nations human rights body has been asked to leave Venezuela within the next 72 hours by its government. The South American country has said that it will review its terms of cooperation with the body. A political stalemate in Pakistan still continues after an inconclusive election ended with Shehbaz Sharif chosen to lead the country once again, while efforts are underway to get the second largest party to join the government. Pakistan's former Prime Minister Imran Khan's party will protest across the country on Saturday against what it called widespread rigging in the general elections. While briefing the media, White House spokesperson John Kirby said that U.S. is concerned over reports coming out of Pakistan in terms of intimidation and voter suppression and is watching the situation very closely. 4 young Andean condors, including Sikoko, Bagual, Siyun and Eclipse, have escaped from a rewilding project in southern Chile. The condors that carry satellite and radio transmitters were evaluated at the Metropolitan Zoo before being transported to Patagonia National Park for a 2-month acclimatization process. The 2-day cultural festival, New J&K, New Hope, commenced in India's Jammu and Kashmir. Lieutenant Governor of Jammu and Kashmir, Manoj Sinha, inaugurated the event. A total of 450 artists from different parts of Jammu and Kashmir are participating at the cultural event. Dog couple Coco and Dolly married in a unique ceremony in Lima. 12 different breeds of dogs attended and they were dressed as brides and grooms. Cambodian entrepreneurs Husky has transformed 40 tons of discarded plastic bottles into broomsticks since March last year using bamboo sticks and plastic bottles. The broomsticks are ideal for high-intensity scrubbing and are sold in Pohnpei and other provinces. Kia sources materials from trash collectors and garbage depots. The Guggenheim Museum in Bilbao, Spain, is opening an exhibition titled Science and Objects on the 16th of February. Artists showcase advertising and consumerism through humor, irony, and wit, using various materials and objects to celebrate popular culture in the exhibition. In Japan's Fuji city, 300 trees of 30 plum flowers hosted early bloomers, including Mount Fuji. The season will continue until early March. The title track of Bade Miyan Chote Miyan, starring Indian actor Akshay Kumar and Tiger Shroff, is to be dropped on the 19th of February. Indian rapper Divine collaborated with popular Canada-based Punjabi musician Karan Aujla for their latest album titled Street Dreams. Indian singer-songwriter Jasmine Sandler releases a new track titled Jager. The singer shared that this song is a celebration of passion and perseverance. Indian actor Kareena Kapoor on Thursday represented India at the Vogue Ball of Arabia event in the UAE. She took to Instagram and posted some pictures from the event. The second installment of the sci-fi epic featuring Timothy and Zendaya was premiered at London's Leicester Square. The movie will hit global theatres from the 28th of February. Zendaya stole the show at world premiere of Dune Part 2 in London, wearing a futuristic outfit worthy of the science fiction epic. The co-director of Berlin Film Festival, Mariette Risenbeek, used her opening ceremony speech to highlight the conflicts across the world. The Berlin Film Festival opens with Cillian Murphy and Emily Watson's new film called Small Things Like These. The fourth and final season of the superhero series called The Umbrella Academy is slated to hit the streamers in August 2024. Former member of the FT Island, Song Seong-kyo, has announced his retirement from the entertainment industry. Ben Duckett's magnificent 133 took England to 207 for a loss of 2 wickets at stumps on day 2 in the third Test match. Earlier, England bowled out India for 445 runs in their first innings. Mark Wood took 4 wickets, while debutant Dhruv Jurel scored 46. New Zealand ended their long wait for their maiden Test series victory over South Africa as Kane Williamson inspired the hosts to a 7-wicket victory in the second Test in Hamilton. The Pakistan Cricket Board terminated the central contract of fast bowler Haris Rauf after he refused to join the Test team for the tour of Australia. France captain Kylian Mbappe has informed PSG that he is leaving the club in July as a free agent. Former world number 1 Simona Halep has sued Canadian company that produced a nutritional supplement that she believed led to her being handed a 4-year ban for doping. Australian Open champion and top seed Yannick Sinner saw off French veteran Gael Monfils in 3 sets to book his spot in quarter-final round. Top seed Carlos Alcaraz began the defense of his Argentina Open title with a straight sets victory over local favourite Camilo Hugo. China's Ben Zhanle backed up his men's 100-metre freestyle world record by winning the world title in Doha. And Tiger Woods ended an uneven day with an eventful bogey to shoot a 1-over par 72 at the first round of the Genesis Invitational on Thursday in California. And with this, it's a wrap here on Express News for now, but news and updates will continue here on DD India. So don't go anywhere. Keep watching and keep tracking DD India for all latest news and updates from the country and the world. Thank you so much for joining us right now. Namaskar.